Good
everybody.
morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Washington, D.C., and everybody else who might be tuning in wherever you are. We're the City Monks.
Yes.
Michael.
And I'm not. And we are here to you today to kind of bridge the gap between spirituality realm and the regular everyday life realm.
Yes, yes. And it's so funny. All the way up until my producer said 2 minutes. Man, I had all the confidence in the world. I was like, man, I've been preparing. And she's like 2 minutes. And I was like, I have no idea what I'm gonna say. But that's pretty awesome because that's exactly what this is. It's raw. It's personal. It involves me. It involves not. It involves everyone in our lives. Everyone in your lives. A lot of people talk about hot button topics, sex, love, relationships, trust, money. But what is it that's at the root of all of that? And it was interesting for me to find out for myself and to take the journey with Na to find out for us.
Yeah, what that meant for us. And just when Michael said the show is raw, it is uncut, it is organic. Nothing here is scripted, and we are here to talk about real people, our lives. People that we meet every day on the street, people who we come into contact with, people who we meet when we're out doing our outreach, volunteering, people who we meet when we go to the free classes that are offered in the community for people who are trying to follow their dreams and start their own businesses and kind of go take the off-beaten path and kind of pave the way for other people. And so that's why we're here. And I am really, really excited to be here. I never ever thought that I would be sitting here, co-hosting a radio show with, anybody. And now here I am, and I can't even put real words to it,
Yeah. Well, you just did, and great words at that. I made some little notes because I thought this might happen that I might. Who knows? Freeze up. But so who we are is just a couple of people. A couple at a crossroads. We came to a crossroads. We it's a long journey, but we had been together a while, about a year and a half, and we had great ups, low downs, everything in between. I mean, we've had some good times, and we've had some crummy times. But at the end of the day, we sit down, we say, hey, we've been together a year and a half. What are we doing? Like, what are we going to do? What do you want? What do I want? And so we started the journey of figuring that out. We looked at everything that we had been through, all that we had meant to each other, all the times that we had hurt one another. And we decided that we would just go ahead and stick it out, man. Not just stick it out, but like crush it. This we realized that it's based on a decision. I have a charismatic and charming personality, and so does she, and so we could connect with a number of people. But we've decided that we want to do this thing together. We have a lot of things in common. Everything about us isn't exactly the same, but that's where you compromise, and that's where you grow. Because sometimes you do things that you never wanted to do, but then it turns out it's not that bad. And she does things that she would never thought that she would do, and she's like, you know what, that's not that bad. And there we are, crafting it out together. And that don't mean it's easy every day, because it's definitely not.
Yeah, I've definitely had our Woo.
Sorry.
Got to remember to get close. We've definitely had our ups and downs, I would say, and just like any other human being going through this human experience. And so that's one of the things that we really want to highlight. We're going to use our lives and our personal experiences as examples of how it doesn't matter what you've done in your past. It doesn't matter what mistakes you've made. It doesn't matter what odds people say are set against you. None of that matters. The only thing that matters is if you believe in yourself and how you feel about yourself, and then going forward, you have a decision to create in the present moment what the future is going to be for the next moments thereafter. And so I am not a perfect person. We are not perfect people. And here we are following our dreams, making our stamp, our mark, if you will, in society, giving our message out. And I'm not a perfect person, but I'm still gonna stand up for what I believe, and I'm still gonna encourage people to go for what they want.
Yes. As everyone should. What was that beep? Should I be nervous? Great.
Okay.
But yes, again, so true.
Talking points. What we got?
Well, yeah. So yeah, this show, we had no idea what it was gonna be. We know that we wanted to make a real impact. Not just a superficial impact, not just get people talking about certain things, but really get people to begin to, as we have begin. We don't have the answer. We don't know. But we do know that what we have done has been amazing, and we see the future as just one huge, amazing possibility. You hear a lot of Hollywood stories that like such and such came from nothing, and they left everything and they drove across country to Hollywood. And like, I'm getting out of this little Wyoming town, and I'm going to be a Hollywood movie star. And I guarantee you, everyone in their life was like, no, that's ridiculous.
People can come in if they want to come in.
But they did it, and they believed themselves into that. What is going on?
I don't know.
I'm
Someone
sorry.
was at the door. I was saying they should let them in. Anyone who wants to walk in and listen, they should just let them in.
Our producer Aaron is like, don't talk about them. Relax.
It's just a show. It's just
So,
a show. If
but-
anyone wants to come down, come down.
But that's literally the hardest thing that someone can do. Can give up all the safety and security of the things that they've known, and take a chance, and it pans out. It's been a tough road. We quit our jobs because we said we don't know what we want, but we know that what we've had is not what we want to continue to have. And so we quit, and we started to tell our friends and our family. And many people said the same thing. They're like, well, what are you going to do about money? How are you going to pay bills? And that seemed to be at the center of all the conversations. But I was raised in the church. I don't go to church now. Nothing against church, nothing against religion. I needed to find my own way. But I remember hearing many times that faith. But do we really understand? I didn't really understand what faith was. I kept wanting something so great and something so different, but I kept doing the same thing, getting a job, trying to go to school, and just the same, and expecting something. And that is the definition of insanity. And so I don't want to do that anymore, and sometimes it's not clear what it is that you're going to do. It wasn't clear for me, but we took a chance together, and here we are, like, with a show.
Existing.
Yeah. Who I would have never known the day that I quit my job. This wasn't even
I had
a
no
thing.
clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, no clue.
So we quit, and we're like, all right, now what? And then the next thing, sometimes you just got to step out there and just let things happen. Yeah. So we do want to make the community a part of this. We meet a lot of artists, we meet a lot of creators, we meet a lot of musicians, we meet a lot of people on the street that are just really awesome. And so we invite everyone that we meet, we're like, hey, come on the show sometime. We really want to make this a community thing. We want y'all to call in. I don't know how the chat thing is going to work just yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get like a monitor where we can see it all that. But so that'll be coming eventually. We'll figure it out. But we want to call in. We want to get your input. We want, if you just want to talk, and if you just like, hey, I always want to be on the radio, like, just call. You never know what you'll get out of just calling in. But we're not, we're still trying to kind of lay the foundation right now. But I just want to throw that out there. We'll have call in maybe 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, in about 15 minutes we can definitely do that. One of the main points that I wanted to make sure that we touch on is that the faith bit of it. Because that's a really important part, and I just want to make sure that we don't gloss over it. Because we stepped out on faith completely, We were in a routine, we were going down a path, and the minute that we knew that the path we were on was not the right path for us, we made a change. You know, we didn't just keep stepping, knowing that this isn't for me, but I'm just going to keep walking down it anyway because I don't have a better option in front of my face right now. You know, or I don't know exactly what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to keep walking this path until, like, it just pops right in front of me. But let me tell you something. I don't think it would have popped right in front of me had I not stepped out on faith and believed that, you know, what was for the next thing that was for me was coming. You know, I've always had a message. I've always wanted to do what I'm doing now. I've always wanted to inspire others. I've always wanted to empower. Always wanted to change the world. Didn't always know how. I never even thought, just like we said in the beginning, I never even thought that I would be on a radio show. Yeah. But it's the most obvious thing. There's a microphone next to my mouth, and lots of people can hear my voice. But I never thought of it. And I would have never, who's to say if I would have ever thought of it if I did not step out on faith.
That's right. You know, we do tend to beat down those same paths. I can't even tell you how many times I've said, man, I hate my job. Man, I hate my job. And I can't even say how many times I heard others saying, man, I hate my job. But, you know, that's a choice. It's absolutely a choice. And there are a million reasons that people can give to not quit their jobs. But if you really hate your job and when I really got to a point where like I don't want this anymore. I don't like my job. I don't like what I'm doing. You know, I enjoy the people because I'm a people person. I enjoyed the people at work. I enjoyed the customers that came in. But the experience itself was much less than fulfilling. And so I said, I want something else. And so I decided to quit, and then I quit. You know, there's a million reasons why how am I going to pay? How am I going to, you know, this is not in any way a religious show. I grew up Catholic, so the Bible is my point of reference, but I believe it as a whole book, not in a literal way per se, but like all the great texts. I have not read them all, but I guarantee they're all rooted in similar things, and those are unity, community, faith, love. But it was saying, do this and see if I won't do it for you. That's what God was saying. But that's just how the spirit that works through the whole world, that's how it just works. It's do this thing and see if you don't get something out of it. You know, it's not wait until you see it and then jump. No, you gotta do it and then see if it won't happen. Now, that doesn't mean that nothing bad is going to happen in your life ever again. You're going to live forever. You're going to be super rich. What it means is that you will get what you want. You know, you will get what you need. You will always have what you need if you put faith. That doesn't mean just quit your job and live in a fearful way. No, you have to be confident, even if you don't see it. The evidence of things that you cannot see. That's what faith is, man. It ain't stuff that you see that you can touch that you're like, all right, I guess this is a safe way to go. Not quite.
Right. Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So each evolution, each stage brings a thing. So I was working in the medical field for a long time, and my last place that I worked in the medical field, it was near the end. That's when I started to know that what I was doing was not for me. I was making like $18 an hour to sit there and answer all these calls and take all these appointments and take abuse from patients who were just nasty. Sometimes some of them were very, very nice, but many people were very nasty. Well, my appointment was 15 minutes ago. When am I going to get back? And I'm like, ma'am, the person that's in the room has cancer. You want me to kick them out so we can deal with your stuffy nose? I'm like, just, I wanted to say that. I didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. I was still operating kind of, in my angry self. But as time went on, it just became more and more apparent that it wasn't for me. We got a new supervisor, and that person was very rude and did not, speak well to us. And that was the first time in my life that I really took a real stand. And I was like, hey, you can't talk to us like that, man. We're adults. And then it became a little difficult. I did actually say it like that. For those of you who know me and know how I used to be, it can be hard to believe. I can dig it. But like, man, you can't talk to us like that, for real. Like, we're adults. We come here. We know what we're doing. We do well. If we mess up, it's not because, we are being lazy or whatever. We're humans, and it happens. And you just got to accept that out of us. Anyway, so I left there, and I had no idea what I was going to do. Next thing I knew, I was waiting tables. I never thought that I would be a waiter, but here I am waiting tables. And I was like, how am I going to live and support myself on this? But I was making more money waiting tables than I was making sitting at the doctor's office. I stepped out and I saw, I stepped out. I got it. I still didn't even understand it. I've been a very impulsive person. My family, the people that know me can attest to that. My brother Robert, I know he was shaking his head all the time, man. Like, man, this dude. But I always land on my feet every time. And I never understood why that was. And it's because I didn't wait until something safe was there and then grab onto it. Because that can only take you so far. Man, I jumped off the thing and then the rope appeared and then I was swinging.
Right.
Like, yes.
Right.
Every time it happened. Every time. But it wasn't until I finally decided to take control of the direction of my life that I realized that I could do that and then use the things use the tools and resources that come to move in the direction that I want. And that's where we at today, man. And we want to offer that to everyone.
Yeah, we do want to offer that to everyone. We want to, like Michael said in the beginning, make this all about the community. We want this platform to be not only for us, but for our friends and our family who are also trying to make their own impact in their own special way and who are following their dreams in their ways, because we all need that, that helping hand, and we are all one people and we are not separate. And so we want to focus on that, and we want to be examples of that by, sharing everything that we have and everything that we get as a result from this and our future endeavors as well.
That's right. We actually want to open up the phone lines in just a moment, but we just want to say, for those that call in, please be respectful. We want your teenagers to be able to watch this show and get something. We want your kids to be able to watch this show. We want you to be able to listen to this show around your kids, even if your kids ain't listening. We want people's kids to be able to hear this because it gets in. You plant the seed. So please just be respectful. I know my language can sometimes be a little colorful, and I'm going to be mindful of that as I'm on the air. I know that many people don't respond well when I use curse words, but as I will tell them, man, words are only as cursy as you let them be. You can say a word that's not a curse word and make it into a bad word, a curse word.
Yes.
And you can say a word that is a curse word.
Oh, yes.
And it can just be a part of your conversation. Not saying everyone should curse, whatever. This is me. So please be respectful as you call in. We want this whole thing to be one big, long, however many week, month, years conversation. A conversation that leads to a complete change in the way that you see yourself in the world, in how you relate to yourself and how you love yourself and how you relate to your brothers and your sisters, and by whom I mean all the other people, not just the people you select, all the people, no matter how you feel about groups of people, they're your brothers and sisters, whatever. So how you relate to one another and how connected we are. I have the fortunate background of having come from a very, very beautiful, large, and loving family. I still see my great aunt regularly. She lives down the street from where we have been living, and she's my new grandmother. And she's an amazing person. But she makes sure that we stay all close. We have many, many family members. We don't see them all the time, but it's all love. We're all here, and I have never felt like I was out here by myself. So we are one, and as soon as I recognized that in my own life, everything started to change. Everything around me became much more beautiful. every single person I see, I spend my time, I used to spend my time doing like this, scrolling down Facebook, and negative, 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 negative. Somebody else planting negative stuff in my life, and I'm just taking it. I don't do that anymore. I got rid of my cell phone over a year ago, and I don't regret it. You know what I'm saying? Now I can't do that. I do go on once in a while, but only when I have Wi-Fi, and that ain't even all the time. But as I got out of that and started to talk to people, there's a strong sense of disconnect. But as I began to talk to people, I began to get the kind of responses that I dreamed of. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And nobody's like, who are you talking to? No one does that. And I talk to everybody. So I'm like, everybody really is like this. Everybody really is cool with everybody else. But I just had to start talking. I just had to start talking to people, genuinely, not wanting anything, not needing anything, but just, hello, how you doing today? Great. Me, well, my foot, whatever, man, and the more I've done it, the more comfortable I've become, and the better people respond. And, it's just a beautiful, beautiful domino effect, ripple effect.
Mm-hmm. And that's the fascinating and powerful thing about words, because words really do have power.
Yes.
Just like Michael is saying, his entire reality and our entire realities
Yes.
changed when we started changing words, and that is words in all aspects. Words that we said to ourselves in our heads, words that we exposed ourselves to from the outside, words that we allowed to come into our aura from the people who we chose to be around and the environments we chose to be in because of the people that we knew would be in those environments. And so that goes down to as far as the music that we listened to and the things that we decided to write and if the writing was honest or not. And so it all boils down to words. What words were we feeding ourselves, and in which forms and mediums? And that directly correlated with the life that we created for ourselves, in the world that we see.
That's right.
Yeah.
In the beginning was the word, and that's where it starts. And that's, yes. So we do want to open the phone lines up. Can you, Max, can you put the phone number on the screen for us, please? Awesome. Oh, it's up there?
Okay.
I wasn't even paying attention. So if anyone feels compelled to call in, you just want to say, hey, you want to talk? You want to start a conversation?
Start a
Yeah,
conversation.
I love it. Either way, we just gonna keep this thing rolling. I'm gonna talk until somebody calls. Are we plugged in? Great. All right.
Okay. What else we got?
So back to words. One of the practices that we took on for ourselves is affirmations. As Nas said, words are incredibly powerful, and they can be used for good and evil alike. And sometimes they can unwittingly be used for good or evil, So we started to do affirmations. We read, she introduced me to the book called The Answer. Is that it?
The Answer, yeah.
The Answer.
Yeah.
And it was, so these two gentlemen wrote a book about starting your own business, about entrepreneurship, but about something that was very deep it's very Steve Jobby. It's why you're in business. And, that's a thing that kind of gets skipped. We wanted to open our own business. So we said, all right, well, let's lay a foundation for that. And it's like, you know what? If you want to be successful, start doing affirmations. I'm like, well, that sounds kind of tree huggy, but I'll do it. Whatever. So we started to do it.
Yeah.
So we each wrote down on index cards our affirmations, and we said them together every day. And one day we stopped saying them for a while, maybe like 2-3 months. We're cleaning up. We pull out these things. We open them up. Everything that we had said on there had become our reality.
Yes.
Like all of our needs are taken care of. We are able to create the kind of life that we want. Each day we grow stronger as a couple in this relationship. Things like that, things that really brought us together. Those words took on life. And sometimes it's, that's why there's no wrong answers. If you want, you can write a one that says, I want $1 trillion. I don't know. Maybe that's a little out of left field, but there's nothing that is beyond the ability to have, you know. But again, the why is the most important reason. We want to be in a relationship, and why? You know, uh, there's so many things. There's so many obstacles these days for relationships. You know, social media has made things too accessible, and there are things built into it for you to be able to hide things from your significant from everything. You got the privacy screens, you got passwords, you got secret messages. All that stuff is a slippery slope, you know. But so why do you want to be, why would we want to be in a relationship, you know, if we feel like we have to do that? You know, we are not private per se. You know, not to say that we're out in the street spilling all our business, but we live a life that we are comfortable with other people seeing, because we don't, you know, these serious super privacy things, uh, we feel are not for us because we don't have anything to hide. Again, that doesn't mean we're giving out our lives, telling our personal business, because it's not a gossip show. It's not about that. It's about the beautiful thing that we have discovered that we can create together.
Yeah, and you know, I want to add on to the fact where you said about words, and then that the words came to life. And the reason it's, you know, words can and do come to life, and they come to life every day, and you see them all around us. And it all goes down to why. Why do they come to life? They come to life because somebody believes. Somebody believes in the words, and then the words come to life. If you know, you can write affirmations, but if you don't believe the affirmations, or like, you know, kind of put your heart into it, like really want it from your soul, then, you know, it might not happen for you, you know. And so, well, for me at least, because I know when I wrote affirmations, and I was, you know, I didn't believe in them, they weren't coming to life. As soon as I started believing in the things that I was writing, believing in myself, believing in, you know, what I thought that I could create, that's when it started coming to life.
And believing that that I am in fact more than what someone else wants me to be. You know, I used to tell my kids, "Oh, you're gonna go to college," but that's how I was raised. That's what I was raised to believe, that you have to go to college to get in debt so you can get a job, make a lot of money, and get the nice things. But everybody, like, it seems like that's like what someone wants everyone to do. You know, why is it so important? I'm not knocking college. I think a college education is an amazing thing. But it's more, again, it's more of a root thing than that, which is, what is my value as a human being? You know, if if my value is only in getting the degree, in getting the job, making a lot of money, you know, if that's what my value is, and not just in my existence, because I don't have a degree. I've got kids, you know, I don't have a job. But no one that ever comes into contact with me will say, "Oh, Mike's a piece of crap." No, they will say, "Mike is is a beautiful person. He's a beautiful person," and that is the most important thing about me, because
Right.
I wasn't always a beautiful person. I used to be a very, very crummy person, and actually not in the too distant past. You know, 2, 3 years ago, I was a better version of an older, you know, an older Michael.
Yeah.
But still, you know, I just, you know, I allowed myself to try to go in a direction that I felt other people wanted me to go. You know, having a steady job, and, you know, not really pursuing my dreams because they sound ridiculous. It's, "Oh, that's ridiculous. You think you're gonna do all of that, and you can't even finish college?" You know, that wasn't me speaking. You know, that was someone else speaking to me. But I know my value, and I know what can be created out here with a little enterprising. You know, many Steve Jobs, if I'm not mistaken, did not finish college. He did not have a degree.
He dropped out.
And he changed the world in ways that, that very few people have. Because he realized that his value, what was driving him, was not what other people expected of him. What drove him was his own passion and his desire to create and change and make a world that was more beautiful when he left.
Yeah. And Michael and I went to a class about 3 days ago, and it was a class about mindsets and mindfulness.
Yeah.
And it was a very powerful class. I enjoyed it a lot. And one of the things that I took from the class that I want to share with everyone out there is you have an imprinted mindset, an implanted mindset, and an inspired mindset, right? Imprinted, implanted, no, I think it's implanted, imprinted, inspired, right?
Yes.
So your implanted mindset, I'm just going to kind of breeze through it or not, take my time. But an implanted mindset is the mindset that you were kind of born into. You didn't choose, what family you were born into or what circumstances you were born into. When you were born, you could not choose, what knowledge you were exposed to. You could not choose the advice that you heard. You couldn't choose, which religions you were exposed to or which foods you were told this is good to eat, this is not good to eat. You were just told stuff and you had to just kind of take it. You ate it. That became your base knowledge. Everybody has this base knowledge of stuff that they had no control over, right? And so moving on, so that is the implanted. So that's implanted in you. You have no control. Next coming is the imprinted mindset. So the imprinted mindset is the mindset that you decide that you want to create for yourself. And it can be in line with the implanted mindset, or it can be something completely different. It's totally up to the individual. But the important part is that it is imprinted, and yourself, the person in charge of this beautiful mind that the beautiful minds that we have, are the one who creates what is going to be imprinted in us. And one of the ways to imprint things in your mindset, if you're looking to create a new mindset for yourself, are the affirmations, are the words. That's a good place to start. It's a good place to start because it's easy. It's a good place to start because you can say an affirmation to yourself at any point, at any time, in whatever experience or condition you are having. You could be rich and you can say an affirmation. You can be poor and it will say an affirmation. And if the rich man and the poor man both say an affirmation with the same amount of faith, the same amount of belief, the circumstance doesn't matter. The effect will be the exact same. The effect will be the exact same. And so that's kind of the basis of the imprinted mindset. And there are other ways, there are plenty of other ways that you can also do imprinting, which we'll get into maybe later. And so the third way, it's actually a pyramid. And so it's like a little pyramid. And right at the top, we have the inspired mindset. So the inspired mindset is what drives you, what you're passionate about, what makes you wake up in the morning, something bigger than you. I'm not just going to work just to get a paycheck, just to pay my bills, just so I can survive. I'm going to work because I want to see a difference in the lives of my life, and I want to see a difference in the way society is. I want to see a difference in the lives of my brothers and sisters. I want to see a difference in the way the world works as a whole. And so that is my inspired mindset, and it's good to think about what an inspired mindset might be, because that is the thing that will keep you going. That is the thing that will push you forward, no matter what outside circumstances going on, no matter what someone is trying to say that you can't do it, no matter what odds are against you. The inspired mindset, that thing that's bigger than you, is what's gonna get you out of bed in the morning, and what's gonna reinforce the imprinted mindset. What's gonna reinforce the imprinted mindset and help you do that, and then what's gonna prove that your implanted mindset does not have to be it. Does not have to be that's what I was born with. That's it. I'm just dumb, so I'm not gonna try. Or I was just born poor, so I'm just gonna be poor for the rest of my life. Or my parents went to college and my sister went to college, so I guess I gotta just get in line, go to college. I guess I just have to do whatever I was born into. So that's what's gonna prove that doesn't have to be the case if you choose.
That's right. And again, the ideas represented here are not against anything. What I had to remember is that at the end of the day, I came in this world by myself, and I'm going out by myself. And so, that doesn't mean to be selfish with myself, with my time, with my life. What it means is that I am the one who decides what kind of life I want to have. And the best way, I saw from the same class that we went to, there was a slide that said, I can't remember who said it, who coined the phrase, but the best way to predict the future is to create it. And sometimes that just takes time. It takes time, and it takes effort. It takes energy. It takes energy. We were in a period where we kind of argued a lot. But it wasn't because we were trying to argue, but we weren't not trying to argue. We would get in an argument, and I would say something mean, and she would say something mean, and whatever. But at some point, I came to realize that that's not really what I want either. So I can come back later, and I can say, hey, I'm sorry that I was a jerk in that argument. Because no matter what she says to me, the only thing that I can control are my actions and my words. And so, what would it look like if she said, "Mike, you're such a jerk," and then instead of saying I'm a jerk, well, what did if we were around that and she say, "Honey, you're a jerk," and I say, I'm sorry. That is never my intention. I never mean to be a jerk to you. All right. So when you see that I'm a jerk, I need you to point it out. You know what I mean? So that I can see it in the moment. I can kind of, and if you point it out every time, I'm not going to have no choice but to see what leads up to it. The warning signs, the red flags, before it comes up, because it's there. It's there. These things are there. But I had to want to get to the root of these things. So I kind of feel like nobody's calling in, but somebody got to be first. You want to call in? Aaron, you want to call in? Talk on the show? Oh. See, like I said, sometimes it's very slow. I don't even know if anybody is watching this. But you know what? One day, all the people who didn't watch it today will see it.
Oh, at some point.
Yeah.
At some point.
So we had to decide that the thing that was bigger than ourselves was the relationship, and what two people with a common goal. Now, we will get into how powerful we are as individuals, man, how we can really drive the direction of our lives. But two people, again, because I have read the Bible many times and I have grown up in church, what Jesus said was, whenever two or more are gathered in my name, there will I also be. The power of people having the same community, unity, that's one person cannot make a team. You know what I'm saying? One person cannot make a partnership. If you want it and someone else doesn't, it won't work. It's like adding positives and negatives. You know what I'm saying? You can't add a positive and a negative. If you both wanted to be crappy, it will be crappy. So there's your two negatives. If one of you wanted to be crappy and one of you wanted to be good, it's going to be negative because it just can't be. But if you both wanted to be great, it'll be great. It's the same. So both the negatives, both the positives, they go in the same direction. They not going the same way, but each of those things are going in single direction. But waffling is not the way. So, there'll be times where there's a call. Oh, great.
Oh,
We'll get back to that.
Someone's calling.
Hello?
Hi, you on there with City Monks?
Hello?
Hey, this is Michael and Nah. How you doing?
Hi, this is Maureen. So I actually met you two last week, but I have a question.
Oh, Maureen, hey, yes.
Hi,
Maureen
am I
taught
loud?
a class
I can hear my
on
voice
small
melting.
business. Small business
Yes.
formation
Small
demystification.
business demystification. That was amazing. That was an amazing class.
Oh, I love your energy. So yeah, go
Well,
ahead.
thank you. I have a question about the words you were saying earlier about affirmations, how You were saying them to each other every day, and then after a while you stopped, and then you started up again. I'm sorry. I guess when you found the words, you realized that all the things that you had affirmed had come true. I feel like affirmations also help build confidence, right?
Yes.
So do you, and our confidence is kind of, tested when we are challenged.
Yes.
So did you find yourself using the same affirmations as before? Or did you find yourself having to, come up with new ones to kind of, take it to the next level, so to speak?
Okay, yeah, that's an awesome question. So when we found the affirmation.
Do I hang up or do I?
I don't know. Does she hang up? And just listen, or you know what? Just stay on the line.
Oh, you just stay on the line. Yeah, okay, it's a conversation.
Somebody else won't have beat you back.
Exactly. Right. Okay. So yeah, we found the affirmations, and we read over them. We figured out they had already come true, and so we did go ahead and write new affirmations that were more in line. Because what we found was that some of the affirmations that we have written were not in line with what we wanted, what we were looking to do. And so we wrote those affirmations, and the ones that came true, that were supposed to come true, did. The other ones were not for us, and then we did improve from there. So we still we constantly write new affirmations, and sometimes we just think of new affirmations on the spot to say if we don't have them right in front of us.
Yes, we do sit in the car. We did it today, and she's like,
right before the show,
affirmations, go, and then, but we did we did get rid of those original affirmations. Those affirmations are now imprinted on our very souls.
Yeah.
You dig? So we no longer need those scraps of paper. So we tossed them.
Thank you so much.
And we wrote all new affirmations, and we do continually write affirmations because as you grow, your view changes, your perspective widens, your vision clears.
Right.
And so some of the things that we wrote, we got, but then again, it was no longer like we can have billions of dollars if we want. We didn't need, those kind of self-fulfilling, selfish affirmations, they kind of,
that's right.
we saw the evidence of the growth, but it didn't make us less good people. We became better people, but we wanted something that was a little more noble. As we started to get those things, we realized that we could have all the things that we want. And so we had to then hone what it is that we wanted.
Yeah.
And what we wanted, now we live a human experience, man. We're very spiritual, highly spiritual creatures, but we do live in the physical world on a human existence. And why not have the things that come along with this human experience, but I didn't want it in a shady way. I didn't want it at the expense of other people. I wanted to build, I still want to, and we are in the process of building an empire, not on the backs of people, but with people, like a community that just grows, so that understands that if your brother and your sister eat, then you eat. If you take care of other people will take care of you. It gets paid forward. It always gets paid forward. They say you revisit the sins of the father to many generations, but that's also true of the beautiful things. You plant those beautiful seeds, and they produce beautiful fruit. Your offspring, and the lives that change. I know I get off. This is one thing you have to understand about. I get way off. So I'm gonna stop. Did you have any follow-up thing on that?
No, that's what I was thinking, because I was like, words are great, and words do have power because they can bring you up and also tear you down.
Yes.
So I just wanted to know how you keep building on, building on yourself, essentially, with these words. So, but I think you answered my question and some more, so I appreciate it.
Yay.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. This is my first time taking a call on the air of any kind, so you had to pardon me. Go ahead.
Oh, no, that was all I was going to say. I was going to say that I'll hang up now in case someone else wants to call, because I'm not sure how this works either.
Thank you, Maureen, and do call back
again.
Thank you so
much. Thank you.
And we'll see you soon.
And we'll see you soon.
So
yeah.
far. I'm really enjoying it. Thank you for sharing your lives.
Thank you
for accepting our lives. Bye.
All right, bye.
We do have an advantage that a lot of people don't have, which is a partner. Sometimes you're in a relationship, but you still ain't got a partner. You know that we were in a relationship in which we were not partners for a while. But again, these are things that we recognized as we grew together. We started, we started actually in a good way. You know, I introduced things to Na, and she introduced things to me, and all those beautiful. You know, see, here's what happened. We started off. I was like, she was like, "Oh, you write poetry?" I'm like, "Yeah, I write all the time, man. I read all the time." So when we started to get together, she started to see more of me. I was like, I better, you know, I told her I do all these things. I better do them. But it was great because she enjoyed those things. So we read together. We still read together every day. We read together. We wrote together. We did affirmations together. That doesn't mean, again, that it was perfect, but it set a foundation that could not be rocked by any of this ephemeral BS that's out here. We not worried about that stuff. We have something that is, you know, what God has joined together. Let no man can tear asunder. It's true. We laid a foundation. But that, again, that doesn't mean that bad things don't happen. It just means that the foundation can take it because it's solid, and we can always rebuild because our foundation will never be destroyed.
Right. And so I want to add, when it comes to our lives, you know, with the affirmations, that is a way of building the foundation, you know. And affirmations don't only just mean words, because it starts with the words, but then your actions follow, your intentions follow, and then things start showing up in your physical realm, and you start getting excited, and then you put more energy into it. And all that work and all that effort that you put into it in the beginning, you know, you'll find that it's going to have a lasting effect, and you won't have to work as hard. Not necessarily that it won't be hard again ever, because it will. And when it does, you will have that solid foundation that you did all that consistent effort, hard work, energy, you know,
Faith by
everything,
works.
faith, you know, yeah, faith by works, exactly. And so you'll have that foundation to fall back on.
Yeah.
And so Michael and I, we're going on this journey, and we're following our dreams, and we are creating something beautiful, you know, every second of every day. And things still come and shake us and kind of shake our snow globe. But because we built the globe,
5 minutes.
5 minutes,
That what I
okay.
mean?
Awesome.
All
Well,
right.
because we built the globe, which was our foundation, and all it does is just shake a little bit, and then it settles, and everything is gonna be okay.
That's right.
Yeah.
Again, we use ourselves as an example because we want everyone to know that there's just regular people. Everyone else is just regular. No matter how we look, no matter how well I used to groom my hair and my face and dress, I was just a regular person with a costume on, basically. You know, what I look like doesn't change who I am. But we you know, we got into a little tiff. No, we didn't get into a tiff. Here's what happened. Na had said, "Oh, you know what? I think I will such and such." This was the other day. I can't really remember the circumstances. And I'm like, well, that's what I've been saying all along. But immediately in that moment, I realized that at no time is that an appropriate way to grow this relationship. Now she said, "Oh, great, blah, I think I'm gonna blah blah blah." And in my mind, I've known this all along. But you know what that is? That's just one more piece of stucco, of tape, of glue on that relationship. That's just one more thing that we now have in common that's in our foundation that is strong. Each time you come to an epiphany, when my partner comes to an epiphany, I don't want to belabor how I've been telling you that all along, because now it's great. Now, awesome. Now you see that. And just by her having said that, or me having said that, that puts it right into the relationship. And not to say that things never happen again, but you become more mindful, and next thing you know, you're right in stride, you're right in step together. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So each day is just. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
Oh no, I was
because we only got like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I was just wrapping up. I was just gonna say, let's not forget to, you know, thank our viewers, thank everybody for watching, and encourage everyone to watch Eddie Kane at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Eddie Kane coming up at 1. Thank you, Aaron, and the baby who is now asleep, Miss Noel. Max, thank you for coming in early, man, and working with us, because we are cold stone rookies out here. But we had a great time.
Yeah, it
we
was
got
pretty fun.
some awesome stuff coming up for y'all. Again, hopefully we'll get more of you involved. We'll talk about anger. We will talk about honesty and integrity. We'll talk about just being a good person, living well through living right. I'm like I said,
living a life you choose, living,
a life that you love,
a life that you love, and a life that you choose.
that touches other people in a positive and meaningful way, and see won't those changes happen in your life. And we got to get the mallet for this gone.
Yeah, we don't have a.
Yeah, that was time.
That's all I had. I was looking for a thing earlier. I couldn't find one.
So, but you know what? We have a lot of we have a lot of room for growth on this show, and we really don't have a lot of experience between us. And so if there's anyone out there that can help us out in any way, shape, or form, whether it be with putting together some of our videos or helping us market, helping us do some of the more technical stuff, if you would please just help us out, we would really appreciate it, and we promise that we will pay it all forward, because that's what we do. And yeah, go ahead.
Oh, and check out our website, City Monks Online. It's right in the corner.
Yes, and
The screen.
keep checking it out. It is an organism,
it's
a
a work
living,
in
breathing
process.
organism. And so yes, we are working on it each day, and each day we will have more and more to offer you. We got a calendar on there, and if you check out the calendar, all those events, all of those things are places where we will physically be
We will
all
be
the time.
there
We
all
will
the
be
time.
at those places.
Yes.
Tomorrow from 10 to about 1 or 2, we're going to be at Malcolm X Park, Meridian Hill Park, for those who are new to DC. How long we got? How many seconds? 3, 30,
2.
30 seconds.
1 minute.
1 minute. All right, great. We'll be in Malcolm X / Meridian Hill Park tomorrow from 10 to like 1. You can come and talk to us there. We're gonna meditate a little bit.
Exchange books.
Yeah, we got some books.
Some books.
We got some books that you can take if you want to bring some books to exchange. Also, that'd be great. Yeah, man. Thank you for
Thank
watching.
you.
And yeah, we cannot do it without you. And that's
We're out.